Hello friends, it's Jennifer. I hope you're doing well. Well, please don't mind the raspy throat. I woke up with a raspy throat. I guess it was this morning. Not really laryngitis or anything like that, but I just have this raspy throat. So I went to the doctor today, and I'll tell you what the mask is for in a minute. But I went to the doctor and got a prescription, so that should be healing in no time. But I've had a very eventful past couple of days. I'll tell you what happened. It started Sunday evening. I spent Sunday afternoon and evening with my precious daughters. And then I came home and I think maybe I had I don't even know if I had caffeine or not, but I was up later than normal. Normally I like to be in bed by 11 or 12. And this was like 12:30 and I was still up. So I went to use the restroom, which is a part of my room. It's adjoined to my bedroom. And then I always close my bedroom door when I come back into the living room so Tucker doesn't go in there, because he does go in there and he does his business in there. So I closed the door and then I tried to go back into my room for a minute. My purse was in there and the door was locked. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. How can the door be locked? Because you have to actually turn the lock, on the doorknob to lock it. And I knew I didn't turn the doorknob at all. I didn't touch the doorknob, but it was locked. So I called my landlord. I'm like, what am I going to do? I have to go to church in the morning and I have to go to work. So I called my landlord and asked her, I texted her actually, and I asked her if she could send the maintenance man, because this had happened one other time before. And then I thought, well, gosh, I'm never going to make it to work. What am I going to do? So I called a family member that lives with my daughter. And as it turns out, Audrey was still up. It was 12:30. But she was still up. She was wide awake because she didn't have school the next day because the doctor gave her permission to not go to school because she had been sick a couple of days before. So she says, I'll come over, Mom, and I'll help you. So next thing I know, it's like 10 to 1 or 1 o'clock in the morning, and here's my beautiful, precious Audrey, who's now taller than me, and she's in her hoodie and in her pants and her sneakers and everything. And she's in my apartment. She hasn't been there in a year and a half, nor has Grace. And then I felt like God did this for a reason, to give me hope that my daughters are coming home to me very soon and we are going to receive our Easter miracle. Because like I said, they hadn't been there in a year and a half. And just to see her in my home, and then after she fixed it, she's like righty, tighty, lefty, loosey, and she knew all these terms. She took off the doorknob and put it back on for me. I'm so bad at that kind of stuff, but she's amazing. I call her my amazing Audrey and my amazing Grace. So she took off the doorknob, we unlocked it, and then she put it back on for me. And then she's like, I'm gonna sit down for a minute. So we're sitting on the couch together, and it just felt like home sweet home. Like this is where she belongs, in my home with me, and so does Grace. So anyway, I said, come back soon, and she's like, I will. And that was that. So I was able to go to church the next morning. And let's see, did I go to church? Oh, no, I didn't go to church. What happened is that I woke up the next morning and I felt really dizzy when I got out of, when I woke up and I stood up. And so I I went into the kitchen to take my medicine, and I bent over and was holding on to my knees in the counter because I felt like I was going to faint. But then I felt okay, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go to the restroom like I always do first, and then I'm going to weigh myself. So I went into the restroom, took off my nightgown, went into my room, was going to weigh myself, and I felt really dizzy again. So I just held on to my knees and was holding on to the bed. And the next thing I know, I just collapsed, and I must have lost consciousness because all I know is that I woke up in a big pool of blood. I guess I fell straight on my face. I thought I broke my nose. It hurt so bad. And I busted my lip. Well, I didn't bust it open, but it was a fat lip, like a swollen. So I didn't know what happened. I thought that I almost died or something. And that's how much pain I was in. And I could barely get up. And then I walked into the bathroom and I looked at my face. And I had a cut on my nose here, and that was bleeding. And there was blood just pouring out of my nose. Not to be graphic here, I know this sounds gross, but I'm just explaining how scary this was for me. This has never happened to me before. I barely ever, my daughter gets bloody noses all the time, but I barely ever get a bloody nose. So this was just pouring out and pouring out. It was very scary for me. And then as I'm standing there trying to clean up the blood, all of a sudden I felt really dizzy again, and I just felt myself collapse onto the floor. But I fell between the toilet seat and the cabinet, which was only like this much space. And I was stuck there, and I just was praying, oh God, help me, please. And then I could barely get up, but I was able to get up, and then I could barely walk. But I walked into the living room where my phone was. I called my family member who lives with Audrey, and she said, go to the, call the paramedics and have them take you to the emergency room. So that's what I did. And as it turned out, when I told the paramedics what happened, that I had only been eating oatmeal and applesauce and strawberries for the past few days, that wasn't enough protein and it wasn't enough food. What happened is that I've been trying so hard to reach my optimal health goal. I shed 60 pounds since the doctor put me on the medication that made me gain weight, but then I leveled out there and I couldn't get beyond it. So when I was eating the oatmeal and the applesauce, I was losing weight. And I thought, well, this is perfect. I'm definitely not going to eat this for the rest of my life, but I'll just do it for the next week or so and see how much weight I can lose to reach, because I was so close to reaching my optimal health goal. But the paramedic said, no, you can't do that. That's not enough food, and you need to eat more than that. And so I went to the emergency room. They gave me an EKG. They gave me an X-ray. My heart was perfect. They took blood. My blood was fine. Also, I take medication that could cause dizziness as well. And I remember when I first saw my doctor in 2001, a long time ago, he said, when I wake up in the morning, to just sit there for a minute and don't just jump right up because you could get dizzy. And for the most part, I haven't had to do that. But now my medication's been adjusted, so I have to be very careful now, especially when I wake up, to get up really slowly and be very gentle with myself and very graceful. So anyway, but I was having a headache today. I went into work. Well, I went to Mass this morning, and we were having the healing of the sick, which is a sacrament. It's the sacrament, one of the 7 sacraments, the sacrament of the anointing of the sick. So I got that during Mass, and a lot of people were there to get it. It's physical, emotional, spiritual. It can be all different kinds of healing. And I thought, well, this can heal my throat. It can heal my nose and heal my lip. But most of all, I wanted it to seal the healing that I really do feel that God has already done in my life, and that's my health condition that I had for 24 years. I do feel that God has healed me of it, and this sacrament, the anointing of the sick, has just sealed it for me to make it final and complete. And anyways, that was really beautiful. And then I went into work, but I was having a really bad headache, and my boss said, you know what, don't worry about it. Take your time. Just rest up and feel better and come in when you feel better, which was so gracious of him and so nice of him. So I went to my doctor because I was having a headache. They did an MRI because they have an MRI center right at my doctor's office. And they'll check it in. I'll get the results in a few days. I'm sure it's fine. I don't think I damaged my brain or anything falling, but it's better to err on the side of caution. But anyway, that's my story. That's my eventful past few days. Oh, and then Grace came over last night. Why did she come over? Because I was there. I went to their house yesterday after they picked me up from the emergency room, and I went to their house. And I stayed till the evening, and then she came with me to drop me off, and then she had to help me carry some bags in, so that she was in my bedroom. And again, they haven't been there in over a year and a half, and so within a matter of 2 days, I had both of my daughters in our home. It's our home, not just my home. And, I said, come back soon. And she's like, I will. So I do feel that they are coming home to me very soon. I think we're going to get our Easter miracle. The Easter season lasts for 50 days. So even if it's not right before Easter, I do believe that they are coming home to me very soon, God willing. And it was just really beautiful. She went through my closet and my drawers and took a bunch of clothes, t-shirts, like the Hail Mary t-shirt and All You Need Is Love t-shirt. And she took a bunch of my clothes. We're the same size now, so she can wear my clothes. But that's my eventful past couple of days, and I'm going to get better. And I'm just wearing this mask for now until my nose heals and my lip heals, and then I can start wearing makeup again on my nose, and then I'll be fine and good to go. But just pray that my nose heals soon and my mouth heals, and Thank you very much in advance for your prayers, and please pray that Audrey and Grace come back home to me as soon as possible, and I'll keep all of you in my daily prayers at Mass every morning. And let's just keep praying for each other, okay? Tomorrow's Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday, very exciting. And the best